at this time.
Alright, let's go. Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about voting and persuade you guys to get in the voting booth and get things going here in America. As our current primary election unfolds, exercising our constitutional right to vote will affect the outcome of this election, of course. So the big deal right now with voting is the lack thereof and the lack of interest in voting, because people are uneducated in the process and what effects it does have on us in our everyday lives. Okay, so the citizens' lack of awareness. The U.S. Census Bureau, 26% of citizens said they had a lack of interest or they disliked the candidates. Like it says up here, 13% went to each. This was a survey taken, I believe, in 2008. So it's not current, but it is accurate. All residents are affected by the voter outcome. So all residents are affected by this because we all live in America, obviously. And so by them not voting or someone not having an interest in it, the majority, the citizen majority is not being represented to its full extent due to their lack of interest. The Minnesota Post, they claimed, as well as several other sources, that 60% of citizens do not vote. At least 40%, as stated in this chart, 40% of eligible voters vote, and 60% do not make it to the voting booth. So that leaves a large reservoir of the majority to not vote, and allowing more swing states and swing votes to capitalize on those margins. So, as y'all know, margins of voting were close, as in this previous election. It's close either way. Past two elections, the popular vote has went against the Electoral College. So there's really not a lot of room for error. And that 60% that doesn't vote can have a lot of effect on the outcome of an election. So the way government is set up in the Constitution, the citizens or the population is supposed to run the government. Well, if you don't vote, you're not exercising your right in controlling the government. The government is supposed to represent you, the people, and by not getting out and voting and doing your civil duty, civil privilege, you are relinquishing your right as a citizen. Next slide, please. So the solution, just to gain the public's attention, you can't be too evasive, of course. So the main thing would be implementing stronger voting messages in schools with the youth coming up to become eligible. So high school age, from 16 to 18, and just kind of get that put in their heads that it is important to vote, and this is why. Also, startup ads in the internet, such as Facebook, like Twitter, all those popular sites. Those are going to get a lot of your views, and it's a viable option, of course. So this solution helps increase the number of uneducated voters. So the voters, or the uneducated voters, mostly younger people, will be looking at these internet sites, Facebook, Twitter, and this is where they're going to see it most, and that's where they're going to, they might not pay attention to it, but it's out there and it's available for them to see. So the workability of this, it's effective because it doesn't cost anything to have a teacher, principal, guest speaker come in and talk to students, and even the teachers there, the importance of voting and what effect it does have on our government in our life, our everyday life. As well as Facebook, those ads may cost a little, but it's nothing tragic. Next slide, please. So go vote. By taking time to vote, you yourself can be part of the solution. So spread the word, become an educated voter, do what you can to get in the voting booth, even if you have to submit a mail-in encourage others and cast your own ballot to practice what you preach in a sense. So like we said, taking time to educate others and doing what you can to help fill that 60% that don't get in the voting booth.